Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video is what I want to talk to you about because it's the year 2022. I want to help you with 10 things that you can start doing today that's going to help you improve your success and improve your lifestyle. Now this is a list that I have and I'm going to put in the description a copy of that list that you can print out and you can read often and read it daily if you want. And it's going to help you really jumpstart your 2022. So here's what the list says. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, but on the list itself, there's a description of each item that I have on the list. Okay, the first thing on the list is I want you to turn off the mainstream media. You have to understand, the media, it doesn't matter what side of politics you're on, it's bad. It's going to be bad. It's 95% bad. So everybody will say the same thing. Turn off the mainstream media. It's doing you no good, especially before you go to bed. Now, the last thing you want programmed in your mind is negativity of the media, what the media brings. You know, there might be a good story here or there on the media, but it's not often. It's mostly bad things. So the second thing you want to do is you want to try to respond to things rather than react to them. So if something comes up during the day, is what you want to do is stop and pause and think about that thing. So instead of reacting to it, respond to it. And is what that does is it makes the anxiety or makes the pressure of that thing diminish to almost nothing. So certain things that are trigger points that might make you respond or react would be, somebody telling you some news, whether it's good news or bad news. When it comes to that subject, you have to remember that news is just news. It's what we do to internalize that news, which makes it good or bad. So we have to make sure that we react and respond the right way. If we get a bill in the mail and maybe it's higher than usual, we might react. We get that feeling, we tighten up. If we would stop that and just respond to it, because by us reacting to it, it's not going to make that bill go smaller. By us getting more nervous, it's not going to make that bill go smaller. It's not going to make somebody's news go away. Things that happen, maybe a car accident, maybe something like that. Us reacting to that situation is not going to help the situation. But responding to it miraculously will help it one heck of a lot. So you can try that. The third one is going to be is when you get up in the morning, when you wake up, get up. Don't hit that snooze button. Just get up. Use a technique that I learned from Mel Robbins called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just get up. As soon as that alarm clock, I don't use the alarm clock, but as soon as your alarm clock goes off, if you use an alarm clock, get up. Just get out of bed. You hitting that snooze button is not doing you any good at all. You might think it is, but it's not. It's doing you absolutely no good. It's not making you less tired for the day. Now, that's just a myth in your mind by hitting that snooze button. That is psychologically doing you damage. Okay, so the fourth one is eat as healthy as you possibly can. Now, I know that eating healthy sometimes can be or seem very expensive to do. I shouldn't say seem because sometimes it just really is. But try to eat as healthy as possible. Make the better choices. Do I want a cookie? Oh no, I don't want anything at all. Or maybe I want an apple instead. So what you eat, you feel. And that makes you feel good, what you eat. And people see you and they see your presentation of how you look is how you feel. And that is caused by how you eat. Eating has a lot to do with complexion, body, energy, personality. Food has a lot to do with all of that. So if you'd watch what you eat and eat as healthy as possible. Eat as healthy as diet as you possibly can. You don't have to go vegan. You don't have to go all greens or this or that. Just do the best you can. Don't be hard on yourself. Just do the best you can. So the fifth one is give help and give to others as much as you possibly can. Givers gain. The more I can give to you, the better I'm going to be and the better I am going to feel. Now remember, a lot of these things are going to create a feeling. And feeling is the secret. Neville Goddard has a great book on that. Feeling is the secret. So whatever I can do during the day to make me feel good inside, I am going to attract. Like attracts like. When I feel good, I'm going to attract more things to make me feel better. The sixth one is never go to bed in a bad mood. At nighttime, before you go to sleep, you have to remember you are going to be for 7 or 8 hours or maybe 9, depending on your sleep habits or your sleep time. You're going to be basking in that last spot that you thought of. If you're in a bad mood or you're thinking about a bad situation, you're going to fester that in your brain all night long. You're going to go over and over and over it. So always try to do things happy before you go to bed. Maybe read an affirmation. Read a book. Think about what you did right during the day. Think about what you have to look forward to tomorrow. Always think of something positive before you go to bed. So the next thing you can do is when you're talking to someone, you're having a conversation, try to listen rather than listening to speak, because we do that a lot. Somebody will start talking to us, and what do? We have an answer. We have a question about that. We want to say something or add our 2 cents to that sentence, and we can't wait for that person to be quiet so we can get ours in. But now you're not paying attention to what that person's saying the rest of the time because you are listening to them, ready for an opening to get in there and speak. So stop and pause and just wait till they finish and then speak. You might try something like, let me understand this. Did you say this? Or can you tell me that again, that one part? That's going to make the person speaking a lot more interesting, a lot more interesting to the speaker, because you're really listening to what they're saying, and it's going to calm you down and make you listen to everything they have to say, which a lot of times we miss a lot of the important key parts when somebody is talking to us. Another one is try to look your best at all times. Now that goes along with a lot of things, but it goes along with eating as healthy as possible. Try to look your best. You never get a chance to make a first impression. So when I'm out doing something, I'm doing the best I can to look the best I can at all times. In other words, and it's not driving the fancy cars or having the fancy clothes or the Gucci watch or all those kind of things. Have a haircut, take a shower, be clean, look presentable, look the best that you possibly can at all times, because you never know who you're going to run into. And like I said, all of these things I'm talking about, I have a list of them all, and you can print out the list and you can read the description, and that will help you. And none of these 10 things to do cost you any money. There's nothing to buy. There's no investing. It's just stuff that you can do to personally help your life out more. So the ninth one is read. Read. And I hint on reading so much, and I get harped on for reading so much, and I become such an avid reader. When you read and you study a book or a program over and over again, it's getting ingrained on your subconscious mind. When somebody writes a book, they have the stories of that book, of what happened and their failures and what they did and what their setbacks and everything else. You're getting all of that knowledge in just 150, 200 pages of that book. You're not having to live it. So you figure for every book you read, you just got the knowledge of somebody else. So you put together 5 books, and boy, that's like a miracle. You have 5 different lives that now you can bypass. You can jump forward. You don't have to go through those pitfalls because that person did it for you. He told you about it. So reading is very important, and there is a lot of good books out there. You can get a hold of me, and I'll send you a list of the top books that I recommend that you read today or this year. And the last one is write down your goals. The scientists say that people who write down their goals rather than just speak them in their own mind, they have an 80% higher chance of achieving those goals than the people who don't. So it's very important that you write down your goal. Don't just think that'd be nice to have. I write it down. When you do a gratitude list in the morning, don't do a gratitude list in your head. Write it down. Pen to paper is so much more powerful than just remembering something. When you write something down, you're getting something out of you, and you're getting it down on paper. And that is a very key point in success and personal development. So I hope some of these things I talked about you start doing today. Let me know your results. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you like this video, please click like. Share this video. Like I said, I'm going to put a link to the download for that free list. It's absolutely free. You can print it out. You can pin it in your computer in your office or your refrigerator or your room, wherever you want to. I hope you get some good out of it, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.